Hey, hello and welcome to New Meta Podcast episode 185. We're back and it's hot, at least it is in the UK. Marco, how you doing?
There's a Lena quote somewhere here about the hot UK weather, which is always a great conversation starter. Damn, it's hot, something like that. I don't play enough Lena.
Nice shout. Yeah, it's pretty hot. It's going to be hotter tomorrow. I mean, if you're from Tennessee, it's probably like a cool summer's day, but for the UK, you know, it's like face melting heights of like whatever, 27 degrees, 26 degrees Celsius.
26, whoa. It's 32 today.
32, that's tomorrow for us, and that's like going to be...
With 70% humidity as well.
Oh.
So you walk outside and it's a wet, hot blanket smacks you in the face.
Ugh. Yeah, tomorrow's meant to be 31 in London, which will be the hottest day of the year for sure. Never gets above 30, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, I'm in like, you know, deranged animal mode pods because I've just come back from football in the sweltering heat, so I'm like sweaty and horrible, and I also need to eat some food, but I'm also can't be bothered, so I'm like sitting in my computer chair, just like gross, eating ice cream out of a tub, like podding, just chatting about some Dota. So
basement lifestyle, gamer lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly. It's good stuff. Also, with a broken headset, one of the cushions on my headset is like ripped off, so it's like bare, so it's like crunching my ear on one side. Do you know what I mean? Like hard plastic on one of my ears. So I ordered the, you know, in classic the Magic T style, just ordered the same headset again, like I used to with my mouse when I bought the same mouse like 5 times in a row. So that's good. That'll come soon. Anyway, Marco, how have your games been? How's your week been? How's your week in Dota been? What's going on?
The last week, I've not played any party games, I don't think, which, big sad, but I have dabbled in the solo ranked as promised.
Well, hey.
The output is not as rosy as my mood last week either. Don't really trying to think of an analogy. Maybe it's like you heard about some cool party you're gonna go to, and you're not going with anyone you know, and then you go into the room and it's just dirty and slimy, and the people are just fucking just not desirable people to be around. It's kind of like solo ranked. So I go in and just every game is kind of traumatic. I think maybe Adam can attest, but I feel like when you play support, you've got more likelihood of, I guess, baby rages, because if you were core, I feel like support players are generally more relaxed and chill. So I mean, like a classic POS 5 randomer in a pub is probably more relaxed and easygoing than these sweaty emo kid core players. So do you know what I think?
I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I feel like you get a lot of supports that like mega mold as well.
Mega mold.
Like, maybe POS 4. I feel like POS 5s are always relaxed people. Anyway, yeah. I mean, yeah. I can't remember a POS 5 CM on mic going mental because of stuff happening. Anyway,
yeah, CM, yeah, fair enough. If you're playing CM, yeah.
So I've played a couple CM, couple Disruptor. 1 win, 3 losses, net -2. Not the best. Not the best. But honestly, oh man, first game, it's a bit of a struggle, but then Morph breaks items when he didn't need to. At the moment he breaks items, the game's like 50-50, maybe 60-40. It's like, yeah.
Nice. Welcome to ranked.
Welcome to ranked. That was the first one.
That's the risk that you run being a support.
The second one, so I was supporting an anti-mage, and I was thinking to myself, all right, if a professional player is playing POS 5, they can win a lot of games. What do they do that wins games? All right, they'll probably dictate the game or how the team plays, they'll do more than just their own actions. Like, they'll influence the rest of the team into a winning scenario. Early game, there's 3 heroes top, and I've scouted one of them. I put a ward in our jungle, so I'm flagging to AM. Yeah, bro, 3 heroes top. I've spotted them positioning with me and my warden. I'm flagging it to now 3 heroes. Then he dies. So, feels bad, man. I think whilst he's dead, I kind of spot a 4th hero top, or a 4th one goes into vision. It's like, okay, in chat there are 4 heroes top. Bit of a ping. Do you know what I mean? Sharing information. The fucker goes back top. TP's back top. He wants our Axe, who's 0-6 bottom, and our Clock, who's like 0-4 bottom, to TP top and like have this fight, because they're all kind of at the tower, and then they, I guess, semi-dive him with 4 heroes, and he's then starts baby raging. But I'm like, mate, how obvious could it be to not go back to that area? What more can I do as a 5 for my 1 to not do that? So he dies twice in a row. That's pretty sad. Then that just sets off this mental tilt on anti-mage. Axe and Clock have mega fed the Bloodseeker. Game's hard, game's rough, back foot, but we can still come back, and we like get to a point where it's 30 plus minutes in the game. Well, it's 25 minutes in the game, and anti-mage is a bit of a threat, and we can win if we play really smart. And there's this push high ground where we do this sick jump, but anti-mage just kind of giving up, doesn't want to play, doesn't join with us, and we don't wipe, and it's like, the game, yeah, okay, 20% chance to win, but at least try, and if you did try, it's not that crazy difficult. But anyway, that's just a bit disappointing. Then I played the 3rd game, probably my shittest game, and then in conventional style, I play shit, didn't really do great, but I win. That's the life of POS 5, it feels. You just get these free wins out of somewhat nowhere. Like, I do a little bit, but I just get mega carried by this TB, who did some mega, like, 1v5, throw and hold, cool, crazy stuff with his AoE fear. So it's like, yeah, life of a 5, just get a win without really doing that much. And then I just played one of them. Again, just like pretty whiny. I had to mute everyone. After the game, Lesh was typing for about 5 minutes, just getting pings in my ear for 5 minutes. And the post-game chat, everyone's just raging in chat to each other. It's just painful. Like, everyone's playing bad because they're raging and typing and tilting. Everyone's playing at 80% capacity, whilst the enemy team probably isn't.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
wait a second. I know that story.
Yeah, that is me.
Is that like Marco got a taste of his own medicine? Is that?
Yeah, maybe I do it to 90% capacity, but not to 80%. These guys were doing it excessively, like excessive chat. Yeah, so it just felt a bit, what a drag this is. It's a winnable game. Everyone's just playing like shit.
It's so grim when people... I had one this week that was annoying, where a player's tilted at another player, and so they're annoyed about it because the other player's playing bad or whatever. And then their response to that is like they themselves like mentally checking out of the game. And even though they're actually playing well and like the team's doing fine, I had that this week where someone's like sort of carrying, and all they need to do is just like steady the course, because the guy that they're raging about will come back into the game. And instead they're like, right, my response to like this guy playing bad is now I'm gonna like AFK because I'm done like trying to play with you. And it then just compounds the problem, because now you've got someone who's not even willing to like make the plays that you need to do when you're a little bit behind. Yeah, rough one. Anyway, Adam, how's your week been? How's your Dotes been?
It's good. I played 4 games. That's so many games compared to the previous 2 weeks.
Yeah.
One of them was a non-game where somebody random alchemist and they gave it to me and I tried to play 3 alch. I would not recommend that. That was like an auto loss. we played that game where I was Doom. That was a party game.
Oh yeah.
A first UK 5-stack game in a long time.
That was a rough. Yeah.
We had double Doom going. Somehow we lost. I still that was a puzzle.
Yeah, that was a definite. Should have been a win.
Oh yeah, I just looked at that. We threw a 15k gold lead. That's pretty cool. But then the 2 wins were on a Baden and a Lich, so all's well. We faced against the, I guess the big boogeyman. Maybe we'll talk about the safe lane Pudge. And, yeah, we won. I was 3 a Baden. And you can tank a lot of things against a Pudge. Pudge is very tanky, but Abaddon's tanky. Abaddon with Ags goes a long way with helping. Pipe and Holy Locket goes a long way. And we had a Warlock. So Fatal Bonds on a Pudge, you kind of just kill the rest of his team while you're trying to kill this tanky Pudge.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty awesome. And I felt like we were going to pretty much lose, but our Weaver hadn't died yet, so it was like, we have a chance, guys. We have a chance. And our Weaver went like Radiance Lincoln's Scotty Nullifier. And he never died, so we won. It's pretty, if your one never dies and they like keep like throwing while trying to, they had a Lesh and stuff, they try and come up and push, and we'd get like a double shackle shot, and they would just like lose heroes when they shouldn't have. And then I don't know, that was a pretty fun level of toxicity where you would just be like, what are you guys doing? Keep feeding our Weaver, we keep getting back into the game. And then the final game, we were against a safe lane Ricky. I played a 3 Lich. We had the old dual ice hero lane. We had 3 Lich, 4 Crystal Maiden, and that was probably the most fun I've had in a long time. Just blasting this Ricky with ice spells. He could not cope. He was like 0-4 really quickly. And the game got kind of scary for a second, but we had a level 30 Sven. So once you have a Sven that's that big, it's pretty easy mode, but yeah. It felt pretty good, just like Frostbite, Crystal Nova, then like what's the Lich Q, like Frost Nova or something?
Frost Blast or something.
Frost Blast, and then they had a pretty scary Clockwork, but was able to get him a couple times with the whole Ag Shard combo. Clockwork is actually kind of a problem. The game went kind of late to where he had a spell immunity within Cogs, and like Cogs leashes heroes. So that was kind of scary. But we had all the 4 staffs. We had the Marcy 5. We had a middle Tusk that was kicking people all over the place, and then we had the Sven who was fully like 8 slotted.
Yeah, Supermaning around.
Yeah, just Supermaning around. Like you throw the Frost Shield on him, he just goes in. Got the AoE, the Lich pull. It was chaos, but it was fun.
Oh man, do you remember when Sven used to dispel on Stormhammer and apply a hit? And the Axe build back then, that was, you couldn't Yules or Ghost Scepter. That was unbelievable.
It was fun being a support.
That was dark times. I've actually played 3 Svens this week. So I've been flying into Sven. He might be my favourite carry. He's one of my favourite carries. I played one Sven game. The first one, I'm sure you guys have it, or I know Marco will have this. You know when your game's really good. Really good. So I'm having a free farm Sven game. And then it's like 8 minutes into the game, you check other lanes and you check the scoreboard, and your team is like crushing too hard, so the game's like boring. Like what you want is like your other lanes to be struggling a bit, and you're like free farming, so you can carry for a win. Whereas this game was, in fact, it was so over that the enemy team abandoned. Like, so it was actually I didn't even get to play. It was like I had this ridiculously fast like Mask of Madness Echo. And then I was like, man, this is going to be a sick Sven game. I'm going to be like Omega farmed. I'm going to be like 900 GPM kind of game. And then everyone abandons like 10, 11 minutes. And it's like, oh my god, so sad. So I had to load up Sven again. Got a nice 11-minute loss in, so that was good. So I didn't die though. 0 deaths, 7-minute loss. Pretty decent. One kill, 0 deaths. I can't remember what happened here. Oh, I do remember what happened here. Okay. Friend of the pod Aesthetics abandoned, like 11 minutes in, tech issues. So I've had 2 Sven games that have both been abandoned. So I'm like incredibly sad at this point. Mega sad. Although I can't remember whether this game was going well or not. Doesn't matter. Then I finally get a proper Sven game in, and that's a win. And that was another like crazy good, like nice farm game. I'm like 10, 12 minutes. I'm top net worth, like absolutely flying. In fact, guess what my net worth is at 24 minutes. This is a great Sven game, by the way. Like, unbelievable Sven game. This is like RTZ farm tier.
So at 10, let's say 5, 20, let's say 11 would be... Could you get 12 at 20? Then at 24, maybe let's say 14.
I was going to say 20 at 24.
So I've got
20.
I've got 20. I've got 23 at 24.
23,000 net worth. Oh my god!
Oh wow, nearly
1K.
1,000. 1K.
What?
Yeah, there's a bit of a Gaben clap though. Picked up a rapier off the enemy. Now, to be fair though, I was pre-rapier. I was 14k at 21, which is still pretty good. So I was like already, at that point, I'm already like 4k ahead of anyone else. And that's like 21 minutes in. So I'm already flying and then pick up rapier. And it's like, then I'm 20k at like 23.
Who gave you a
So
rapier?
they went for the cheese. It's actually so funny. They're already like kind of getting crushed. They're already like 10k down, say. Oh no, maybe not. They're like 8k down, 20 minutes. So they've got Wraith King who goes Ags. And then they've got an Alchemist who they've got a Wraith King who rushes Rapier. He literally goes Rapier first item, like nothing, like Brown Boots Rapier. And then they've got, which is obviously horrible, and then they've got an Alch that gifts him Scepter. So he gifts him Scepter at 16, Rapier 18, and then it's the Wraith King TP home. To save the rapier. Still a thing. And then the very first fight that they take with this rapier, we don't realise because we're not expecting an Alch to have a rapier at 18 minutes. And like, we thought he was going Radiance because he's had Relic.
Yeah.
Anyway, then he just like, we're like, wow, what year is this? He's going Brown Boots Radiance. Anyway, like, because you crit on first hit with Wraith King? Like, guaranteed. So he just like, he just like crits poor old Ron Mexico Dazzle, like one-shots him pretty much, and Ron's like, whoa, like, what's going on? And then we realise he's got Rapier. Then we take a fight and he dies, because he's like a Brown Boots, like bare naked Rapier. Tries to TP, and obviously you can't target him, but we've got a Wind Ranger that like shackles something, and he gets caught behind, and then instantly loses Rapier, like a second after buying it, which is pretty
amazing.
Funny.
The old shackle a ghost.
Yeah,
as Gaben intended.
So dumb. Anyway, I lost the Rapier again at like 28. So there's a bit of Rapier like back and forth. Like Wraith King gets the Rapier back, and then drops it again, goes to Ogre, Dazzle has it for a bit, it's flying around. It was a decently fun game. Went 49 minutes, which is an absolute, like, abysmal Dota from our point. Bit of throwing. It was one of those games where you're just throwing, because I'm literally, when I've got the Rapier, I'm like double net worth any other hero. I've got 23k, the next highest is 11, so that's like the game's my oyster at that point. Anyway, other than that, the only other game I'd mention maybe is a Lesh where I deserved to win but didn't. And then Razor. I played Razor in a party stack.
Oh, I was actually going to publicly flame this game and post it to the Discord and say, can we give shame on you for this?
This Razor performance?
The fact that you're playing Razor and the enemy team has 5 melee heroes and it's unranked, it's like, I saw that, I was not happy. That is dark.
That was a nice one. That was real nice. I picked it into 2 or something. I picked it into... No, I last picked it. Yeah, no, it's dirty. I last picked it into 4 melees.
5 melees.
And then they also picked another melee, so I was like, yeah, let's go. Also Slardar as well. Like, Slardar Razor into 5 melees. Good times. Yeah, that was lovely. And then obviously Tread's BKB refresher is... That refresher, man, it's unbelievable. Like, the double ult with double BKB, double link. It's just so dumb. So you just pop link... Pop Q, pop link, pop ult, refresher, pop ult again. Then when your BKB runs out, pop BKB, and you got another. It's just you just fly in and you literally just like the DPS is just unbelievable. So Razor, I actually think is honestly a shout for ranked. Like if I got a couple of games of Razor in, it wouldn't take long. Like a couple of games of Razor, you'd probably be ready to get it out and round because it's just pretty straightforward and it's so strong. So that's basically been my week.
Yeah, we had an interesting Razor loss where the enemy Pudge, I think it was Pudge 1 Razor 1v5 does. I can't find the match history. I can't remember the exact heroes, but I think the solution is you'll have to have 2 supports, both with 4 staff, both ready to double 4 staff. Oh, you were Silverbird, I'm not sure if you remember. Yeah. And so we lost the game because we're kind of slightly too far out. Razor finds himself on top of us, does his double on top of you and maybe another core, and then we can't escape and get run down and melt to death. So I'm thinking, I remember losing and thinking, like, how do you play against this? Because he's a race car. Like, yeah, it's so easy for you to kind of be in 600 range and then all of a sudden you're melted to death. So I'm thinking maybe both supports need to have this double 4 staff Bale play. Even then it's hard. Yeah, it feels... What frustrates me the most is how basic it is to execute. Like, this guy on the enemy team, he was the immortal player, but the guy didn't have to think at all this game to be able to mop it up and win, because he just presses a few buttons and then right clicks. You press your buttons, take your left hand off the keyboard, and then just like right click the mouse down the map.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah. Good hero, honestly. I'd say it's fun as well. It's fun to play. Because you don't really farm, you just like fly around and stuff. You just farm with your ult like the first few times, and then that's basically it. So this patch, what's going on? You mentioned the POS 1 Pudge, which you actually shouted out at the point of release, Marco.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is this legit, or is this just some people playing it?
I'm not sure how legit it is.
What do you reckon, Adam? Is it legit?
I beat it, but like, it was a lot of damage block when you get the Vanguard. It was pretty scary, to be honest.
What's the build?
If they didn't like throw it and we didn't have like fatal bonds or something, I don't know if we would have been able to get through. This guy's build, Vanguard, Faye, Zags. I think he got a hood somewhere in there, but then he ends up finishing Eternal Shroud, Blink BKB.
Interesting.
Yeah, so...
I think he went Vanguard hood.
Yeah, that seems a bit... I don't know if both is necessary. But everyone's, it's this variation of one of the two. Ags Blink. Which, I've perfected Pudge, and the item build I've perfected already, and it's now just being copied. I do think there is value for Soul Ring often. The way
you got
I
a Soul Ring.
Yeah. I always play Pudge mid, or I prefer to play it mid in party, because A, it's actually too easy of a win in the safe lane, and B, as the mid hero, it is more fun and active, because I'll go Blink Ags rather than this farmer Aghanim's role.
Mm-hmm.
So I find party Pudge in the safe lane a little bit too dry, because it's too farmy. But yeah, the games I've seen, and I know Gork's done it, and I've seen other pros play it, but it's like, yeah, are they just doing it because it's the fun factor? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you get kills in lane. Like, I've always... it always gets paired with, like, a Crystal Maiden, or in this case, a Bane. And it's just, like, brain-dead hooks. Yeah. Like, just the most... Like, Bane is probably the most brain-dead hook combo you can do. That was pretty frustrating. But, after... besides that... So you do get to be kind of active. You get some kills. You end up, goes well with the flesh heap stacks. And I think I like the Vanguard because the damage block is nasty between flesh heap and the Vanguard proc.
Yeah. I think something I didn't appreciate as much on release and just reading the spell is, and it's a question we raised in the pod, but okay, how many instances of damage are you actually blocking? It turns out that in a lot of games there will be lots of, or in the game there are a lot of spells which are applying this incremental damage procs. So like even something like an avalanche or Blade Fury is instances of damage that you're blocking many of, or any kind of damage over time like a Venomancer. There are some more obvious than others, but yeah, not everything's this flat 300 damage spell. So then actually there's a lot of spells that you'll be against where you're getting a lot of value from the flesh heap. And then I think in the safe lane, you are more likely, definitely more likely to be maxing it second. Whereas when I play mid, I think, it's nice to have the hook and rot maxed, and you're not really doing as much skirmishy stuff as the safe lane. But yeah, in the safe lane, you've got some of this strong flesh heap going on, you've got a fast Vanguard or Hood. You are a monster that can't be touched and can kill stuff. So as a safe lane, seems kind of strong. And then the Ags, I think, is boosted. It's so good. Get a blink, just do bits. It was funny. I was watching Gork watch Limp. Limp's just not even cast. He's not casting flesh heap. So I think there are a lot of people that are just playing it on a whim now without really knowing what spells to press or items to build. But I think if you know your item build, you can do a lot of impact.
Yeah, interesting. In terms of the carry heroes, I feel like Jug. Is Jug just like really, really good now? At the moment, it feels really strong. Well, I just feel like people play better with the Shard now. The Shard is just... I underrated it when we did the Shard overview.
Shard's been around for years.
I didn't realise that it did the right click.
Yeah.
I just was like, it gives you more speed and more damage. But actually, like, the way people build now with Mjolnir and, like, proc stuff, and just, feel like people are just better at adjusting to, like, that kind of... I don't know, the win rate's creeping up. Like, it just creeps up and up and up. And at the moment, it's, like, 18% pick rate in Immortal, 53.1%. That's high for a hero with that pick rate. In fact, it's got the highest pick rate of any hero in, like, the top 20 heroes in the win rate. I mean, it's always going to have a high pick rate. It's Jug, but I feel like as Jug goes, that's pretty strong.
Has its pick rate changed? It's always been kind of popular. It looks like. I know I've been watching Gork, and he's always been spamming and always been doing the same phase Mjolnir, Blade Fury, Manta build. And I swear I remember watching him a few weeks ago and him being like, no one values Jug, but I do maybe, or I feel like he just likes to spam it.
Right.
But has it become more common? The pick rate hasn't really changed that much, but even then, I guess if it's like 2% more, maybe that is a lot more.
I don't know. What heroes, are there any other ones that are like obvious ones that people are... What's the chat, basically? I feel like I'm a bit out of the loop on the patch.
I feel like Visage Well, at least in some of my ranked, I've seen Visage. If that's just kind of the norm, though. Visage is quietly 11% pick rate in Divine Plus, 57% win rate.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's kind of classic Visage at the higher tiers. So you don't really see him down below, but I feel like I see him quite a lot. Pos 3 as well, not just support.
Mm-hmm. How's the Wraith Pact? I feel like you still see it bought.
Yeah.
People
Yeah,
still like
there.
the Wraith Pact, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still good.
Yeah,
It's bigger.
Bigger, yeah. Bigger
Yeah.
and less tanky, yeah. Yeah, one less hit or something, isn't it? Something like that, yeah.
One less hit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. Where's the Centaur? Where's the
seen it.
Centaur Warrior?
Have any of you guys seen it? Like, I feel like it should be good.
Not seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, to be honest. Maybe we need to be the change we want to see.
Yeah.
Prove to the world. Maybe it's free MMR and no one
I
realizes.
need to stop picking offlane Lich.
Yeah. Any other things to shout out? Heroes that you want to try, or things that we thought were going to be really good but actually weren't that good? I don't know. I feel like the Darkseer things we discussed is I've seen Darkseer a couple of times. I feel like it's back to being like a pretty strong 3. I don't know if the stats back it up, but what we were saying last time about the mana cost reduction on Surge and the damage increase on Vacuum, they're just like straight up buffs. Nothing else to be said. It's just objectively better. So it's no surprise that Darkseer is like being picked up a little bit more.
Yes, I think Lena and Lesh I'm seeing a bit more. I can see in the stats Lena's had a bit of a tick up in pick rate after marginal Fiery Souls buff, which I do think is very nice. And I just lost to Lena mid today. But then the Lesh, I think Lesh got... Did Lesh get any buffs? Or maybe it was just the hood thing. I feel like since Sumail's Lesh dominance a couple weeks ago, that hero is becoming more visible.
Yeah, he got a buff. He got the number of targets increased on Lightning Storm and the damage rescaled so that it's higher by 20 at lower levels. But it ends up 10 levels. It ends up 10 damage less. So it's like higher earlier, lower later by 10. So it's very marginal.
Yeah, very marginal. I've heard that you just get, I think you go up to 2 in Lightning Storm and then sack it off. So
2-0-2 and then max W. Such a weird build in terms of like ignoring a spell and then maxing it. Ignoring it for 4 levels, then maxing it. It makes sense like from the perspective of you putting all your points in laning spells, and then when the laning's over, you just go into your spell that's the best spell non-laning wise. But it's just kind of funny. I can't think of many other heroes that do that, like ignore a spell for 4 levels and then max it or something. Can't really think of another hero that would do that.
I can't think of any.
Points for any listeners that raise it in the Discord with maybe like a Luna or a Sven, like you don't get any in W and then you max it. Like you just go 2-0-2 and then max W.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, out of my last 4 ranked, I think I've seen 8 different carries across both teams.
Healthy.
Which is healthy, yeah, from a carry perspective. I do feel like the carry pool is very vast. Do what you want.
I feel like a lot of the pools are...
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Adam? Support pool? CM, like Jakiro...
I think CM and Lich have felt awesome.
Nice.
They're both buffed. I really enjoy the less mana cost on Lich Q. I really enjoy having extra range on Crystal Maiden. I think she's legit strong. All memes of 1 less strength aside.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think so as well. I think CM's always there or thereabouts, and then seems like the stats back up now. 52.5% at Immortal, which is definitely not something to turn your nose up at for a hero that has always inflated pick rate. So that's strong numbers. In terms of the other 5s, have you guys seen the stats? Do you know what the most winningest hero in Immortal Plus is? I don't know if you've seen.
No, I've not seen.
So in Divine Immortal, there's the hero with the highest win rate in the game is a pos 5 at the moment.
Is it, what's the pick rate?
3.5%.
And it's definitely a 5?
It is 100% a 5, yeah.
So it's not...
There was sorry, go on.
Chen.
Yeah, it's our friend Chen.
Nah.
3.5%
Always
pick
Chen.
rate. Yeah. Chen, 58.4%. So if you know how to play Chen, get your 60% in. Let's go. Omni Knight, is that being played 5? I mean, it's only got like a 5%.
Do it once.
Yeah, 5% pick rate, 56%. It's pretty strong. I mean, Omni, it's the kind of hero I'd quite like to play. 5, but then you feel like if you play it, you just feed and die. But then the stats are good, and like, what do you do in lane? You just press. Do you just do like Warlock things? You just press Heavenly Grace on your carry and like heal them, and then try and trade a bit, like trade your HP with the enemy carry as best as you can. It's a bit of a weird one, the Omni 5, but I mean, stats say that it's good. I don't even know what to build as well. I guess you can kind of build anything. I guess you just go like Tranks. I don't know. I don't even know.
Holy Locket, mech.
Holy Locket,
build.
yeah. Mech, yeah, I guess mech's a good shout. 4 staff if you need it.
Wraith Pact.
Wraith Pact, yeah, that's the answer we're looking for.
Yeah, I think it's cool. So I saw Kuroki play it in Enigma game. Massive Enigma fan now with Sumail in the team. I'm like, this team's sick all of a sudden.
Sumail Miracle.
Sumail Miracle, I mean, that's hype.
That is pretty sick, yeah.
That is super cool. And yeah, it was cool to watch this game because they take these big 5 V5 skirmishes and the Omni will be like healing, dispelling big spells, big GAs. No one was dying. I think there's a Holy Locket in there, and it was very clutch, and you could see a lot of impact being made from the Omni spells, which is cool. I do agree, yeah, in the lane it's defensive. You're not killing heroes with
I guess you
Omni.
have that hammer thing, don't you?
You do, but like you say, do a bit of trading, just create space for the carry. I think the carry could have been something like a TB as well, so it's just kind of someone you want to farm. But I think a kind of hard way of playing 5, one where it's your impact is really soft and your influence is really soft influence, not obvious how you make value. I think that's difficult. But I guess if you just be a bit of a nuisance, hit the enemy in the face a bit, make space is actually high value.
Yeah, definitely. I must say, I know I'm like, this is the only hero that I play, but I'm so surprised that Necro's win rate isn't crazy. I just don't understand. It's got a 48.9% win rate. It's basically got a 49% win rate in Divine Plus. I don't understand the heroes. Every time I play Necro, it just actually feels impossible to lose. And so, and with the Shard build, it's actually just nuts. Also funny that Gork's the best Necro player in the world, according to Turbuff. Which is quite funny. I don't even know why. I guess AA is popular, and like you're bad against Lena mid, which is popular, but like, really? I don't know. I'm just hype on Necro, honestly.
Yeah, Necro's good. I think the only reason we won is because we had Sven.
Yeah.
For what? Dispel?
Yeah.
I guess Nullify.
And he just chops them.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if you could have stats for heroes depending on when they were picked, because yeah, if you first phase a Necro, you are kind of asking to lose. They'll get some AA, they'll get some spinners or magic damage and screw you. Even second phase, the enemy 1 or mid.
We'll pick a hero that wrecks you a bit. Yeah.
I'm not sure what ones wreck the Necro, but yeah, if it's a mid matchup,
any nullifier builder, I think. I feel like the higher you go, the more people get nullifier, get Spirit Vessel, and then you're just really sad. Like here, the win rates go from 52.5 to 52 to 51.5 to 50 to 48.9. Like as you go up, So I feel like I've definitely had necro games like in ranked where the enemy team last pick like a life stealer or some hero that jumps you with a nullifier and kills you, and like also the enemy 4 like throws in a spirit vessel for the mid game, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember why this hero isn't actually free win when the enemy team think about what your hero does and how to counter it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else on the list? Anything on the list, Adam, to play other than Centaur?
Centaur, I think, is it. I already played my Ice Bros, and that was, those are still in the pocket, ready to go. Nice. New Null's cool for supports. Or I played that 3 Lich, I picked up a Null, it was nice. A little bit of extra mana, always appreciated, instead of build 6 Nulls and just kind of cheese the game, like off of some Storm stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, a little bit of extra mana, kind of nice.
Yeah. How about you, Marco? Anything on the list?
I'm not sure, because in the ranked, I feel like I am resigned to just doing 5, and I kind of can't be, I don't have the capacity to rank with more than one role. I see CBA like grinding out 1 and 2 and 3 to a level of competency. 5, I think, is historically my best. Let's just focus on that. Okay, who do I play? I do like a bit of CM. Obviously, really like Disruptor. I have had some good Bane success before, so maybe I go back to Bane.
What about Jakiro? You love to post on the WhatsApp like, oh, the Jakiro control, like second highest in damage, like ice blast.
Jakiro can do a lot of high impact as well. Yeah. So I've got a bit of a pool there, so I might just rotate through it, I guess, see how I'm feeling. I really would like to know what the one is going to pick. I feel like there's a lot of value if you can coordinate a bit. I guess I should just say, would you rather pick X or Z? Mm-hmm. X or Y?
I can't believe, like, back in the day when we were in the Liverpool, like, Dota 2 ranked sweat house, when you, like, actually had the time and capacity to, like, get loads of Dota in so that different positions were, like, ready to go in ranked. Can't believe the range of heroes played back in the day. Unthinkable now. I played, used to play, like, POS 4 Nyx in ranked. Like, imagine that now. Imagine that, Adam. Marco playing Nyx in ranked. That's the best compliment he ever got. Cinderin saying that he was playing his rank on Nyx 4.
Never played worse in my life.
It was meant to be an insult, but actually it was like great compliment.
Yeah, he thought he was insulted me. Yeah.
Marco was chuffed. He was like,
"It was
wow,
the greatest compliment."
Yeah.
Wow, I'm playing my rank.
Yeah, I mean, my hero.
That is like that's some dead stuff. That's not Marco at all. Patience, no thanks.
Well, you need patience for the POS 4.
Nyx? Yeah, POS 4 Nyx, like you actually have like cooldowns. And you can't like, just run at people.
Yeah, so when I watch Crit stream, it's so weird, because he'll play for 10 minutes just literally just walking around the map sometimes, and he'll be Earth Spirit, and he's not hitting a creep, he's not even in lanes, he's just moving around the map, using spells every kind of 2 minutes. It, on the face of it, is so inactive in a physical, how many spells and right clicks are you doing way. Obviously his map movement is critical to the game and 10k MMR, but it's like so snoozy to watch for the first 10 minutes. It's like, oh my god, I couldn't play POS 4 like walking around the map like doing that. I want to be hitting creeps, or I want to be casting spells, and that's POS 1 or POS 5.
It is weird, those POS 4 games that happen sometimes where it's just dead, like no kills happening, and then you're just like, what do I do?
Those are the worst.
Yeah.
Like boring.
Especially when you're playing a 4 that wants to be active as well. Like you're playing an Earth Spirit or like some Dark Willow hero. It's not like you can just... It's not like if you're playing some 4 that could farm a little bit, you're just like so sad. Like the whole reason I picked this hero was to do stuff, and like such a dead game. Yeah. Happens. I haven't got much in the pipeline, to be honest with you, in terms of things that I want to play. I'm kind of looking at playing some funky heroes, especially if I'm going to be getting out on round. So I just feel like maybe an Invoker's on the cards or something. So I'll let you know when that's coming, so you can not be online. What about a Snorlock, Marco, in ranked for the fundamental Dota 2 pulling the strings, team captain modes?
Team captain's too hard, man. It is too mentally difficult these days to keep everyone in check.
Playing a Snorlock is like too much POS 5. It's like the POS 5 of POS 5s.
Bit too heavy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's leave it there. Nice little crisp pod for the listeners. We'll be back next week, as always, or will we? It's always a bit of a gamble these days. But
yeah, they're lucky they're getting this crisp one. A crisp 45.
Yeah, this one was in jeopardy, to be fair. So
I mean, think of the 45 minutes of Stan just sitting in his own stank, sweat, and then just that ice cream is all melted now.
Yeah,
the sacrifices.
I know, it's unbelievable. I know. More people call him for a Patreon. So just throwing it out there. Well, actually, am I going to commit myself to doing a Patreon if people in Discord say they want one? Maybe. I do have to pay Libsyn every month, so, have some costs. Maybe that's the kick that we need to get the pod flying again, and so I'll get the motivation to, like, have a shower before the pod and be, like, suited and booted, ready to
have a set
give
day
the listeners
time.
what they want. Yeah. Yeah. Make some noise about that on the Discord if you are interested, because we'll set something up maybe. Anyway,
I need to know one other thing.
Yeah.
Did you say what kind of ice cream you ate? What flavor?
Mint choc chip, which is actually a bit rogue for me. I'm not actually big into that, but this time I felt like it. It's a long story.
See, that's a good flavor, and then you just talked it down. So now I know you don't actually really like it that much. So now I think less.
I mean, I absolutely love ice cream. It's like my favourite thing in the world. So the reason I got mint choc chip this time because I'm getting like cheap Tesco ice cream, and usually like I like a bit of chocolate. But if it's too cheap, it's like too much chocolate sauce and chocolate stuff and not enough ice cream. So I didn't go for it. And there was no deal on Ben & Jerry's, and I'm not paying full price. Because I don't know about in America, but in the UK, Ben & Jerry's, it's like every other week it's on half price. So like no one buys it full price, but you think you're getting a really good deal every time it's half price, even though it's half price like every week.
I'm surprised you guys have it.
About that. Oh man, it wouldn't be. I'd be moving out of the country.
I didn't realize it was worldwide. Because it's like, it's one of the more expensive ice cream brands.
Yeah, so good though. That was what we were having Ben & Jerry's every day at ESL. They had a Ben & Jerry's like stand at ESL Stockholm.
Get you some Cherry Garcia.
Yeah, all about that. Fish food flying around. Yeah, it's good stuff. Anyway, join us again in a week's time. Have a final whistle, have some ice cream, do whatever you want, and we'll see you then.